All right, let's go ahead and call the Senate to order. The Sergeant-at-Arms will please secure the chamber doors. Members, please take your seats. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. President.
All right, this morning we are very pleased to be joined again by Pastor Larry Patton from Chesapeake Church in Huntingtown, Maryland, the only hunting town in the United States, guest of the distinguished senator from the 27th District. Please rise for the invocation.
Well, good morning. Over here? Oh, well, that makes sense. Good morning. It is awesome to be here with you again and here to open in prayer. It is a privilege and an honor without a doubt. And I just want to thank Senator Jackson for remembering that this is very cool to me. I Googled the chamber, 1904, like 120 years I'm standing in the room with the body politic. So thank you just so much for that. We read in the Bible where a question is asked. It says, "Teacher, what is the most important commandment in the law of Moses?" And the reply is this: "You must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment." The second is equally important. Love your neighbor as yourself. The entire law and all the demands of the prophets hang on these two. Love your neighbor as yourself is equally important, not sort of important, not kind of important, but equally important. So let us pray. Father God, I ask that you bless these men and women. Let them legislate through the lens of your commandment to love your neighbor as yourself. Let them never forget that few will ever have the ability and privilege they have to affect your greatest creation, mankind. Let them never forget that this time, and their work in this chamber was ordained by God from the beginning of time. I ask for your blessings over this morning's session. I pray that the words spoken and decisions made further your will. And I pray all these things in the name of the Most High. Amen.
Well said, sir. Thank you. That was wonderful. Thank you. Chair recognizes the senator from the 27th District.
Thank you, Mr. President, colleagues. It is indeed an honor again to have Pastor Patton here. He's with Chesapeake Church in Huntingtown, Maryland, down in the 27th Legislative District. Something unique about the words this morning from the pastor, and something unique about the pastor himself. He is, as we are, of service. He has a public safety background. He obviously has a spiritual background, and he's continuing that service. But the church that he represents, or the church that he leads, is very instrumental in feeding those in need. Some of you all may have heard of End Hunger. End Hunger represents, from Chesapeake Church, represents feeding over 70 food banks in Southern Maryland. 70 food banks. We have a challenge, ladies and gentlemen. Within the last year, they have fed over 2 million or prepared over 2 million baskets. So we have a lot of work to do in this body, and let's keep things rolling in the right direction, and let's be of service to the citizens that we are so honored to be here today. Thank you, sir. See you soon.
Excellent. Thank you.
Can we journalize?
Most certainly, without objection, we'll journalize the wonderful remarks this morning. Very thoughtful and the right message. Love our neighbors. It's the most important thing right now. All right. Has everyone recorded their presence in the chamber? It appears so. The clerk will take the call. With 46 members in the chamber and a quorum being present, the Senate of Maryland is now in session. We have a few special guests. Some we know, some are new to us. But let's begin, if we could, with the President Pro Tem to help us honor someone we know very, very well and would like to wish congratulations in the next endeavor. Chair recognizes the President Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, I rise to bring a resolution in honor of Ovita Wiggins. Ovita Wiggins, as most of you know, is retiring, or has retired rather, from the Washington Post after 21 years of service there. Ovita is a graduate of Rutgers, worked at the Philadelphia Inquirer before coming down here to join us here in Maryland to then do the tremendous work that she has done and legendary work at the Post. She worked particularly in Prince George's County, covering our local politics on some very serious endeavors, including, essential work on Jack Johnson, and that was important for our community, but then also positive stories too. She was always very balanced and just really very grateful for that. And here in the State House, she did work on things like the essential workers and criminal justice reform, always writing a story that was balanced and important. And I think that it's really important that we have a voice like hers in this body. She brought her perspective to the things that we do, and I really am grateful for her. She is also, I would consider her to be a friend of mine. And so if you all will just bear me a little bit of indulgence, having gotten a chance to get to know her a little bit, I just have a couple of text messages that I think are really real for me with her. The first one came from her. She's like, "Hi, it's Ovita Wiggins. I just tried to call. I wanted to quickly ask your source on the states with the consent and mental health laws." And I really appreciated the fact that she reached out to me to talk to me about some legislation that I thought was very, very important. At another occasion, I wrote back to her, "Thank you for making me look smarter and more articulate than I was on the floor." And I really was quite grateful for that. She is a tremendous friend, a foodie, someone who we will miss dearly here in the Senate for the work that you are done. And Mr. President, I would ask that the resolution be read in full in recognition of Ms. Ovita Wiggins.
The clerk will read the resolution in full.
Be it hereby known to all that the Senate of Maryland offers its sincere congratulations to Ovita Wiggins in recognition of your retirement after 21 years of reporting for the Washington Post. As a state politics reporter in Annapolis, your pursuit of truth and stellar sourcing resulted in outstanding coverage of top issues affecting Marylanders. The entire membership extends its best wishes on this memorable occasion and directs this resolution be presented on this 18th day of January, 2024.
The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President?
Has everyone recorded their vote? If so, the clerk will take the call. Ms. Wiggins, the Senate of Maryland unanimously celebrates your incredible and thoughtful 21 years of service in the Washington Post. We're going to miss you. We're going to miss you. All right. We now have some guests we have not met or yet met previously. If we could ask the young scholars and athletic champions to join us here. And as they are joining, we'll recognize the senator from the 25th District.
Thank you, Mr. President. Folks, today we celebrate one of the pride and joys of Prince George's County District 25, the Dr. Henry A. Wise football team. Wise capped off their 2023 season with another big win for the Class 4A state championship title against the Broadneck Bruins. Senator Gao, I'm sorry about that. The Washington Post recalled the game by saying almost immediately at the start of the game, a pack of Pumas flooded into the backfield, hungry for a rare defensive feat, a safety. The Puma men led by senior Demola Olawukan jumped on the Broadneck quarterback and sent him to the blue and gold end zone turf of Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium right here in Annapolis, a highlight of the 21-0 Wise football victory. Not only do we recognize the tenacity that these student athletes exude in the classroom, we recognize their teamwork and leadership on the field. The championship team finished their season with a 12-1 record and scored a total of 593 points, while only allowing 99 points to be scored against them. This accomplishment is nothing short of amazing. However, this continued success is nothing new to District 25 or to Coach DeLon Parrish. Under the leadership of Coach Parrish, the Dr. Henry A. Wise football team has won 10 county championships, 11 regional championships, and 6 4A state championships. This is our very own Nick Saban, folks. Accepting this resolution on behalf of the team, we have here Principal Dr. Taryn Washington, Coach DeLon Parrish, Athletic Director Jason Gordon, DeCarlos Young, Ronald Hall, Carlton Meeks, Tion Lavender, Trenton Wilson, James McFadder, Eric Wedge, Jamal Drummond, Freddie Glass, Ravion Johnson, and Tyreek Suggett. Please, thank you for everything that you all are doing to make all of us proud in the state of Maryland, and specifically in District 25. Mr. President, I'm going to ask that the clerk read the resolution in full.
Clerk, will read the resolution in full.
Be it hereby known to all that the Senate of Maryland offers its sincerest congratulations to Dr. Henry A. Wise High School football team in recognition of winning the Maryland 4A State Football Championship. We applaud your outstanding season and wish you many more. Congratulations. The entire membership extends its best wishes on this memorable occasion and directs this resolution be presented on this 18th day of January, 2024.
The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President?
Has everyone recorded their vote? Has everyone? Almost. The clerk will take the call. To the gentlemen champions at Wise High School, congratulations. The Senate of Maryland unanimously celebrates your victory in your 4A championship and wishes you the best moving forward, both on the field and off the field. Congratulations. Excellent. Thank you all for joining us today. Congrats again. Got the full team here. It's excellent. Congratulations. Got the snow day 2 days ago, get the Annapolis day today. It's, nice little breaks here. All right. I think that does it for our resolutions today. I know we have some other introductions. Let's go ahead and recognize the senator from the 44th District.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. When I was over in the House, I used to be surrounded by a number of UMBC alum. As some of you may know, I went to UMBC for graduate school, where I received my master's in policy with a concentration in educational policy. With our redistricting a couple of years ago, District 44 was proud to pick up this great institution. And many of you know UMBC through its former president, Freeman Hrabowski. But today I wanted to introduce our new president, who's been the sixth president of UMBC since 2022, and that's Dr. Valerie Shears Ashby.
Welcome, President Shears Ashby.
So if you have children, my daughter, she's currently a sophomore over at UMBC. It's a great school, I would tell you. That's the school to send, and I know a lot of times we all talk about the University of Maryland, we think College Park, but whenever folk say University of Maryland, I'm always asking which one, because we have a great University of Maryland right here in Baltimore County. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well said, Senator. And the President is also joined by two of her wonderful teammates, Candace Dotson-Reed, and someone that we know well in this body, Mr. Jake Weissman, is in the gallery behind us as well. UMBC is doing very, very well. Yes, Senator from 28th District.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, today is CPA Day in Annapolis. The members of the Maryland Association of CPAs are on the campus, and if you haven't seen your CPA today, you will see them a little later. I want to say included in that number is my daughter Rachel. So welcome to the CPAs of Maryland.
Excellent. Thank you, Senator, and thank you to the CPAs of Maryland. I always joke, I was born on tax day. My dad was a CPA, he was an accountant, and it was always sort of the big joke that when it was my birthday, tax season was finally done, so it was a real celebration. That was always the joke. Yes, Senator from Western Maryland.
Thank you, Mr. President. In the gallery, we're joined with Miss Judy Hamilton. She's the mayor of Westerport up here in the corner. If we give her a wave.
Welcome. Welcome.
And she
Mountain
is-
Maryland is churning in.
Well, that's why she's here, is to remind me to make sure that everybody is invited to the 2024 PACE reception. That's going to be held at the Westin. Tonight is the reception from 5 to 7:30. The breakfast is tomorrow morning from 8 to 9:30. PACE this year is really focusing on the natural resources of Western Maryland, whether that be woody biomass, energy fuel, whether it be forest products and wood products, wood energy in general, making sure that our growth, all pun intended, forestry growth and economic development and access to our natural resources. And I just want to say thank you from my region of the commitment that you all have had to Western Maryland and all the beauty that's there. We are truly one Maryland. So I hope to see everybody at PACE tonight. Come on by and we'll buy you a drink.
Excellent. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
Thank you. And welcome to the folks from Western Maryland. It's no small coincidence that as Western Maryland descends upon Annapolis, the snow just is barreling in. So, it's no coincidence there. Yes, Chair recognizes Senator from Baltimore City.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Members of the body, please join me in giving a warm welcome to my fellow for this session. He is seated to my right. His name is Jordan McClure, and he is a graduate student at the University of Baltimore, obtaining a Master's of Public Administration degree.
Welcome, Jordan. Welcome. Welcome. Chair recognizes Senator from Anne Arundel. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to remind everyone that the Chesapeake Bay Trust has their reception tonight at the Calvert House, 5:30. Little competition. Thank you.
Yes, excellent. All right. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Senator. All right. And, yes, Chair recognizes Senator from Montgomery County.
Thank you, Mr. President. I've got two young men who are in my office for the session. I'm going to start with Andrew Sondry, who worked for me in my office 2 years ago before he ventured off to the University of Maryland School of Law, where he's a 2L, second-year law student. So welcome, Andrew, back here to the chamber.
Welcome, Andrew.
And then secondly, I've got Matthew Shea, and Matthew's a senior at University of Maryland College Park, where he's studying journalism. Avita already left. I was going to get Matthew to get some counseling, and maybe impressive for this chamber. He serves as a senator in the University of Maryland Senate. University of Maryland Senate, so he is a senator as well. So welcome, Matthew. And finally, actually, his parents are up in the gallery, Evan and Lori Shea, all the way from Rockville, Maryland, District 17, and they're up in the gallery. So welcome as well.
Welcome, welcome. Learn some tips and tricks here from this body. Bring them back to College Park. Very good. We have a senator from Montgomery County, and then followed by the senator from Rockville, and then followed the senator from Baltimore County.
Thank you, Mr. President. Joining us this morning on the floor is Marylander Sigal Shachar, a resident of Rockville. And in the gallery above me are Shlomi Berger and Ashley Bakshi-Waxman, Ron and Orly Gilboa, and Yarden Gonen. As many of you know, on October 7th, the Palestinian terror group Hamas killed 1,200 Israelis. Others were raped and tortured. 240 Israelis and other nationalities were kidnapped and taken hostage. Sigal's aunt Nurit and her uncle Amiran Cooper were among those taken hostage. Nurit was released with the assistance of the American government. Amiran remains a hostage. Ashley is the cousin of, and Shlomi is the father of, Agam Berger. Agam remains a hostage. Ron and Orly are the parents of Daniela Gilboa. Daniela remains a hostage. Yarden is the sister of Romy Gonen. Romy remains a hostage. It's been more than 100 days since these young men and women were taken hostage. Today at 11 a.m., the families of the hostages will meet with us in the Amos room, and I hope you can join us. In order to preserve the intimacy and dignity of the moment, it will be members only. The message they bring today is simple: bring them home. I hope you'll join me in recognizing the courage and advocacy of Sigal Shachar, Shlomi Berger and Ashley Bakshi Waxman, Ron and Orly Gilboa, and Yarden Gonen.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you. We appreciate you all joining us. We can only imagine how hard it is, and we all are praying for the safe return of your loved ones. Thank you for joining us. Yes, Chair recognizes the Senator, the newest co-chair of the Maryland Jewish Caucus, and Senator from Baltimore County.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I'd like to welcome the doctor of the day today, Dr. Jack Gordon, who's a resident of District 11B and my constituent, and a very familiar face here, retired orthopedic surgeon, and we're thrilled to have you join us this first week. Thank you.
Thanks for
I'd
joining
also
us.
like to tag on the welcome from my colleague from Montgomery County. His assistant this session was a student of mine this fall. So Andrew, good to see you. Thank
Excellent. Very good. Very good. Yes, Senator from Rockville and Gaithersburg.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I want to tag on for a quick moment. Jake Weissman is someone we know well as the former chief of staff to the late president and to this president, but I want to recognize him as one of the 5 members of Maryland State Board of Elections. His thoughtfulness, leadership, and eagerness to learn and collaborate is going to help make sure that Maryland's elections this year and beyond continue to be among the very best in the nation. So just an extra shout out for Jake if we could.
Thanks for your work, Mr. Weissman.
I also want to introduce my shadow and my lifelong friend. Steve Meltzer is with me today. I have been telling people that he's known me since I got home from the hospital, and people are like, oh my gosh, like, are you okay? When I got home from the hospital like this. He's known me since I was a couple of days old. His parents and my parents lived across the hall from each other in Silver Spring. And so he has been a friend, a mentor, and a community leader for decades, and an important person in my life. I'm thrilled to show him off and for him to have a glimpse of what we do here. He has been for 18 years a partner at Pillsbury Shaw Pittman, Winthrop, I left one out, Pillsbury Winthrop Shaw Pittman in DC. He has, even more importantly from our perspective, for 21 years, he has been on the Maryland Tech Council Board and has been involved in our technology, community, and economy, and supporting startups and all that, which is now the senator from Anne Arundel is not going to be happy that I'm offering yet another competition for tonight, and the senator from Western Maryland, which is tonight is the annual Tech Council dinner, and it's at the Graduate Hotel. So come and meet some of the key leaders in our technology economy in Maryland, and we hope to see a lot of us there today. So please welcome my friend, Steve Meltzer. Thank you.
Welcome. Welcome, Mr. Meltzer. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for your service. All right. Any further introductions? Any further introductions? If not, so we consider the reading of the journal from the prior legislative day. Just a little bit of work today. We've got calendar number 13. 13, this is introduction of Senate bills. Clerk will read the bills.
Senate Bill 387, Senator Lamb, Korean American Day, Education, Energy, the Environment. Senate Bill 388, Senator Guile, Prescription Drug Affordability Board, Authority for Upper Payment Limits and Funding Lower Prescription Drug Costs for All Marylanders Act of 2024, Finance and Budget and Taxation. Senate Bill 389, Senator West, Criminal Procedure, Incarcerated Seniors, motion to reduce the duration of a sentence, judicial proceedings.
Majority Leader moves so be considered the reading of the bills. Will be referred to their appropriate standing committees. Senators, we're at 419, so we're way ahead of our normal number. We're normally around 200 at this point, so 419, we've got a lot of bills. The request deadline is tomorrow, So remember, if you haven't requested it by now, just make sure it is a bill you really, really, really want to request. There are a lot of bills, so if you request it, please make sure it's something that really needs to be introduced this year. It's ready for prime time. It's ready for discussion because there's a lot of requests outstanding right now, and their bill drafters are doing the best they can. Just make sure that tomorrow's the last day. They'll find a way because DLS always does, but just please let's make sure we respect everyone as professionals, and if a bill's ready, move it along. If it's not, we're back in 9 months. So, all right. We also have some bond initiatives. This is calendar number 5. Clerk will read the bond initiative.
Number 1, Senator Carrozza, Henry Hotel, Budget and Taxation.
All right. The bond initiative will be moved to the Capital Budget Subcommittee. The desk is very, very clear. Couple of quick announcements. First, tomorrow, it does look like there may be some inclement weather. Again, check the website. That will be the most up-to-date information. The moment we have anything, the first place it'll go will be on the website on the banner. We'll likely do an earlier pro forma as early as, we're looking at 9:45 potentially so that we can get in and out. And hopefully, if it is torrential, we'll have to adjust, but we'll see. I think we'll be okay. But so that's announcement number 1 is the website for snow. Bill request we mentioned. Another important one. This is an important one. We're going to do a little bit of a change this year, starting next week, when it comes to vote changes. And it's not necessarily a change in the rules, it's a change in process. We had a number of vote changes on bills, and I'm not referencing when it's somebody misses their button or they're running too late and they have to put it. That one's easy to know. You can look through the record, there's a missing vote, and even if a senator says the wrong bill number, if there's a missing vote, it's obvious which one is the one that's missing, has to be fixed. For vote changes, we are going to have a form that is saying which bill and change a vote from what to what. That will be available at the desk. Pages will bring out the form. Senators will fill out the form with the number and which direction to change the vote and return it back in. At that point, when it's returned back into the Secretary's office, the senator can be recognized to request the change in vote on the floor. Assuming that the senators agree to that change, then it will be processed and move forward. The question is why? We had a number of vote changes last year, and for the Secretary's office maintaining the journal and appropriate records for all of time, what we found last year was that a number of times someone would stand up to change their vote and would say the wrong bill number or would say the wrong direction, yay to nay, nay to yay, and it was left up to the discretion of the Secretary's office to make sure that there wasn't a mistake in the record. And so it's such an important thing to know which vote, how somebody votes, that we want to make sure that there is some documentation that if there is a change in vote from what's on the board to where someone wants to be, that the Secretary's office has something to be able to back it up so that later on they may know, all right, it's Senate Bill 890, that's the one that the senator actually wants to change to, but they said 870. And so it gets squirrely because it's what the senator said versus what was obviously intended. And so to eliminate that intention, we're going to have a form that senators can fill out. Pages will run it back and forth. They'll be readily available, but just want to make sure that it's a little bit easier and that that it's clearer for the Secretary's office on which direction. Any questions or discussion? Yes, Chair recognizes Minority Whip.
I had a question from over here. Is there a time limit on when you can change?
Still the same as the rule. So if the bill's still in possession of the Senate would be when, and that it does not change the outcome of a vote.
Of the vote. Okay, thank you.
So that's the other issue. We haven't had really many of those, but you never know. You never know. Especially this year. We'll see. Any other questions? Any other questions? Discussion? Okay. So that'll start next week. The forms will be out. The Secretary's office will have it. Pages will be able to run the forms back and forth if folks need them. So just keep that in mind so that we can have a clear record in the journal. All right. Any other? Actually, let's do committee announcements. Chair recognizes the Chair of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Finance Committee will meet at 1 o'clock today. We're going to have briefings on the Commission to Study the Healthcare Workforce Crisis and Health Occupation Boards, including the Board of Social Work and the Board of Nursing update. We're also going to have a voting session, 5 bills. Thank you.
Voting session today. Race into the goldenrod. Yes, Chair of Education, Energy, and the Environment.
Thank you, Mr. President. We will have a briefing on solar energy deployment in our state building. Give a shout out on the good work of the senator from the capital city, had a task force in this space. So we're going to start with that, followed by some bill hearings, 4 bills, and potentially a short voting session.
Oh, the race is on. Yes, Chair of Budget and Tax. Deferring this one.
No voting session.
Senate has the budget first. Senate has the budget first.
We are going to meet early today at 12 for bill hearings, 16 of them.
All right. Woo. All right. Off we go. Yes, Chair of Judicial Proceedings.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just thinking about having an early voting session, so maybe we'll vote before our briefings. I don't know. We're meeting at 1 o'clock for briefings, chronic absenteeism and truancy and the overlays and nexus between justice-involved youth.
Excellent.
1 o'clock.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. All right. Any standing committee announcements? Standing committee announcements? Yes, Senator from Howard County, Howard and Montgomery.
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of the Sportsman's Caucus, I'd like to remind everyone that we have a legislative luncheon at Harry Brown's from 10:30 to 1:30, so please stop by as your schedule permits. It's sponsored by the Association of the Forest Industries and the Hunters of Maryland. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you, Senator. Yes, Co-Chair of Protocol.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. President. Because of our pro forma session tomorrow and because of the impending weather, this is our last day with the pages for this week, at least for now, until they return back with us later this session. So I just wanted to thank them for their work with us this week. Again, we have our first is Demilade Ifedayo Adeshaida. She's from District 43B, student at Baltimore City College. There she is. Next, we have Abhishek Iyer, a student at Centennial High School, a resident of District 9B. And next, we have Scott Pauley from Baltimore County, District 30B, a student at Calvert Hall College High School. Next, we have Elena Walther from Montgomery County, District 14, a student at Northwood High School. And last, we have Brandon Williams from Montgomery County, District 15, a student at Winston Churchill High School. So thank you very much, Pages. Thank you, Mr. President.
We got a great group this week. Hopefully got a little preview, especially in the committees. Next time you're back, we'll have a lot more floor action, a lot more running around. So thank you all for being here, and hope you have a nice few weeks until we see you again midway through. Nope. Okay. Any other announcements, events? Notices? If not, let's do a quorum call.
Mr. President?
Has everyone recorded their presence? If so, the clerk will take the call. With 47 members in the chamber and a quorum being present, the Senate of Maryland remains in session. Chair recognizes the Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate of Maryland stand adjourned until Friday, January 19th, for a pro forma session at 9:45.
9:45 pro forma. Everyone stay safe, attend the gallery, or the events this week. A lot of folks are coming in town, and without objection, have a safe weekend.